Hey guys, it's Klaus. Yeah, welcome to Klaus's World. Something a little different for you today. We're watching something different from someone different. Don Thummel. Don Thummel from the Guys clan. Guys, what guys? The Beard Guys. Yeah, and a warm welcome to all you Beard Guys followers who I'm sure are here after we Klaus bombed your channel, wondering who the hell is this guy babbling about our beloved bearded bastards. We do things a little differently on this channel. But welcome to all you guys. And why am I showing you this? This is not World of Tanks on PC. This is World of Tanks on Xbox, played by one of the Beard Guys. And he sent me this replay. And you know what? These Beard Guys, who also have their own YouTube channel, in case you didn't know, and I've left the link in the top right corner of the screen to their latest video, so you can go check them out. If you're not one of the beard followers, what do you call you guys? The bearded followers? The Beard Guys? They're the Beard Guys, so what are you guys? The Beard Guys subscribers. We're Klausians. What are you guys? The Beard guys? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, these guys have been nice enough to, on a couple of occasions, shout out my channel. And I had no idea at first that they were, I guess one of them particularly liked when Stinky Lady came to visit a couple of times, and he mentioned it on his channel, and a couple of times they've even adopted a couple of sayings, a couple of Klaus antonyms, or whatever you call them. They did a video where I think in one particular video they shot enemies up the ass more than I have ever shot any enemies up the ass. And I think it was Don here that played the game, and he gave me a shout out. So let's give them a shout out. I left a link in the top right corner of the screen, the eye. Pause the video here, click the eye, and let's Klaus bomb them. Let's go over there and say Klaus says hello and thanks for the shout out, Beard Guys. Click the link up there and go over there and say thanks from Klaus. Do it, just pause and do it now. We know how to do it. We're gonna Klaus bomb those guys. Klaus bomb, I'm a Klaus bomb, and baby you can turn me on. Or something like that. Okay, so after you go leave a thanks from Klaus message, what are we gonna do? We're gonna watch an Xbox game here, okay? And it's the same game, but it's different. The thing about these different platforms, all these different gadgets and Xboxes and PS4s and whatever the hell other stuff there is. I play on PC, and I play on a shit PC. And you know, when you play on PC, there's people playing on great PCs that have really good settings, and people playing on shit PCs that have shit settings. And you know, it's all mishmash, smorgasbord spaghetti shit, you know, mingled crap. But when you play on Xbox, everyone's got an Xbox, and this is what the game looks like for everyone. It's kind of a level playing field, and it's very cool to watch. So let's just watch this. And you know, I like the Beard Guys. They have beards, number one, and they like coffee, because I like coffee. And speaking of coffee, I was on the bus the other day. Because my car's not working. I was taking a bus, which is already like kind of a big mistake, and I see these two kids on their cell phones. Right? Speaking of gadgets and all these different things we have these days, they've got the thing with the two thumbs going, they're sitting beside each other, and I get on the bus and I'm standing there, and I realize, well, you know, I got some time to kill, and I'm a pretty social guy, and I see these two, you know, knuckleheads. One of them's got dreadlocks, the other guy's got these things in his ears that expand the earlobes, and they're sitting side by side. You know, their thumbs are whipping things on the screen. They're not looking at each other. And I sparked up a conversation. I said, hey guys, you know, how's it going? I noticed you're texting there. You want to have a little chat? I'm on the bus here for a while. And they, I kid you not, when you got the head down and the thumbs on the phone is the one position, and then someone says something to you, and everyone does this. The thumbs stay on the phone moves down onto the lap, and then the head looks up. You know, the thumbs and phone are in the ready position, and they look up and say, what? Is there someone saying something to me? And I say, hey, yeah, You know, guys, I had an interesting day the other day. I was out for coffee. I like to be social, go out and go have a cup of coffee somewhere. And there was this great little place, the Bean Hut or something. It looked like one of these metro, gender fluid, metrosexual type new age places. And I walked in to order a cup of coffee. And this place smelled great. I went in there, ordered a cup of coffee. And it's just one of these fancy places where everything's fancy, and they've got all these ceramic mugs, different shapes and colors, and no one chair is the same in the place. And one of the tables was like a polished sheet of metal balanced on some yoga balls. It was pretty cool, and so I ordered the coffee. I got the coffee and went over and I always get the coffee black because I like to add my own accessories. And I went to the place and put in my 7 heaping teaspoons of sugar, which is the way I like it. And took a sip and whoa, ho ho, blew me away. And I had to go back. I went back to the guy that gave me the coffee to say, hey buddy, come on, look, get over here, look at this, taste this coffee. And he was one of these young guys that was just working there trying his best. I'm sorry, sir, I can't taste your... No, taste my coffee. Come on, really, I haven't touched it. Just taste it and tell me what you think. And I convinced him. He actually took it and he tasted it and he said, ooh, that's sweet. And I said, no, it's not sweet. It's just perfect. That's the way I like it. You know what it is? It's fucking cold. Oh, well, I'm sorry, sir. It was hot when I gave it to you. Yeah, it wasn't hot when you gave it to me. It was cold when you gave it to me. It was hot when you poured it into the mug. Now, he kind of said, well, let me go ask the manager if there's anything I could do. And he went off to ask the manager. I'm just standing there like an idiot looking around this place, all these guys enjoying, like they're enjoying weird drinks. It's a coffee place, but there's like this couple that's drinking something that is called a latte, okay, which in Italian means milk. And what do you think they're drinking? It's like a 17-ounce mug of warm milk with a little bit of coffee flavor. They're drinking warm milk for $7. They don't know because they don't know Italian. It's like it's a new thing. We invented something new in North America. It's coffee with milk in it. We'll call it a latte and we'll charge more. Like, shut up. But anyway, I'm standing there waiting for him to go ask the manager if he can give me an actual hot cup of coffee instead of a warm one. And I noticed they've got a little sign there and some applications. They're hiring. And they've got applications that you actually fill out with a pen and a piece of paper on the counter there. They say they're an equal opportunity employer. And I picked out an application. I mean, I'm unemployed. I do this for a living, which I could use a second job, really. So I'm looking at it, and it's got the regular stuff that you would ask, and then it has a section on the bottom. It's actually a third of a page on the bottom. It says optional section. Optional section, and it has some questions there. Are you a First Nation? What the hell does that even mean? Are you a First Nation? Are you a visible minority? Are you sexually distinct? What the hell kind of questions are these? Optional section. First Nation? What does that even mean? I assume that they're referring to the people that were here in North America before people came from Europe. The people that were native to this land, which you're not allowed to call natives anymore. Funny enough, one of the questions up above in the must fill out section is, what's your native language? It's funny, they didn't ask me what's my First Nation language, but whatever. And the fourth optional question they had, this is the weirdest thing I've ever read. It said, and I guess this is the store or the coffee shop, it's their application. It says, the last question is, are you proud of your body? So I picked up a pencil and I started filling some things out, waiting for the manager. Eventually the manager got there and very politely came up and said, sir, Sari has told me that there's something wrong with your drink. Sari was my server. Mr. Sari is his name. And I said, yes, there is a problem, and I've outlined it here on your application. I've added one more question to the bottom here under optional questions on your application, which will address the problem with my drink. I've added a little box here And the question is, are you a regular moron? Are you a regular moron? Is an optional question. And as you can see, I've checked this box. I am a regular moron, and I'd like to be considered for a job here. And I think this is the most important question on your new application. You should include this, because I don't really think it matters whether someone is a First Nation or a gender fluid or a visible minority. In fact, they can be any or all of the above, but I think the most important thing is that they should be just regular morons. Because if you hire me, I, as a regular moron, could explain to you that this coffee is cold. And really, there's only a couple of things you need to do in the shop is brew some coffee and serve it to your patrons hot. And he kind of interjected there. He wanted to diffuse the situation and to stop the conversation, because it was getting, I tend to get a little louder. And he said, sir, I do realize we're really sorry, and we'd like to offer you a free Frappo mocha milk, whatever the fuck. I can't remember exactly what he said, but he wanted to give me a Frappo something. And I explained to him that, you know, more important than you just giving me a free milkshake now is for me, maybe you could learn something. You see, when you make the coffee is hot. So you start off okay. What you have, is you have a hot liquid coffee, and you have a cold mug, you see. And then you put the hot coffee into the cold mug, and what happens is the heat from the coffee heats the mug. Heat always travels towards cold. Cold never travels towards heat. It's the laws of physics. It's basic thermodynamics. And what happens is the ceramic, this thick ceramic, beautiful Art Deco mug, has a high latent heat capacity, and it absorbs 50% of the heat from this beautiful hot coffee that you've poured in. So as you start with hot coffee and cold mug, but 10 seconds after you pour it in, you hand it to me, you no longer have hot coffee, cold mug. You have hot mug, warmish, cold coffee. You see? And as your new employee, as a regular moron, I could explain to you that if you brew the hot coffee before you pour it into the cold mug, what you could do is you could pour hot water into the cold mug, swish the hot water around, and that hot water, the heat from that water will travel through the laws of entropy and thermodynamics into the mug and heat the mug. Then you could pour out that hot water, which is now just warm and almost cold, and then you're left with a hot mug and hot coffee. You pour the hot coffee into the hot mug, and you hand it to the customer. And you start with hot coffee, hot mug. You end up 10, 15, 30 seconds later with hot coffee, hot mug. Customer is happy, and there's a great product that you could sell that is different than the crap that you're selling now. There's 6 of you behind the counter there. You've got about $10,000 worth of machinery and steamers and mugs and cups, and all you have to do is brew some hot coffee and put it into a hot cup and serve it to people. And you can't. It does not require applicants that fill out special sections and let you know whether they're sexually distinct or are happy with their bodies. A regular moron that could explain the simple laws of thermodynamics could make a difference. And I started to realize that I was making a scene, and there were people in line waiting behind me. And I looked around, you know, at the Bean Hut, the collection of dreadlock sporting, ear stretching, wearing, nose ring tattooed, gender fluid types, all. I'm sure, you know, nice, wonderful people, just, you know, different priorities. And the funny thing is, while I'm standing there in, you know, out of place, I hear in the background very softly from, you know, this sound. Like the Queen slowly clapping. And as I peered into the back corner, I noticed 2 old ladies, 2 elderly citizens, charming, silver-haired gals, both of them clapping. And I looked over at them, and we made eye contact, and one of them said, "We come here all the time, and the coffee's always cold. That's why we get it in a paper cup." They understand thermodynamics. Don't you think that's amazing? Don't you think that, like, that's crazy, right? And both the guys, remember, I was talking to 2 guys on the bus. This is the story I told them. They still had the cell phones in ready position on their lap with their heads kind of looking at. They sat through the whole thing motionless, kind of looking up at me when they realized that I'd finally stopped. And I asked them, well, you know what, isn't that incredible? Like, what do you think of that? one of them just looked at me and said, "Dude, you need to relax, okay?" And I realized I had a feeling of deja vu. Here I am again. I didn't sit down on the bus. I'm standing in the entrance. We're driving along. I've been talking to these two kids that remind me a lot of the patrons from the Bean Hut. And the strangest thing happened. I start hearing the clapping. I start hearing the clapping. I go, what is going on? And I look at the back of the bus, and it's the same two old ladies that were in the coffee shop. And they're clapping again, this time with a little bit more vigor because they feel a little bit better because they know me. We've met before, and we make eye contact again. And one of the old ladies says, she looks over at me. She says, "He is really a nice man, isn't he?" And it was great. It was just a fantastic. I couldn't believe it. It's a true story. The funniest thing. I kid you not. It's the laws of nature, thermodynamics. It's the way the world works. You can't make this shit up. You have to appreciate every little thing. Nature works in mysterious ways. Like, I had no idea that getting a cold cup of coffee would have led to this particular piece of joy in my life. And anyway, the Beard Guy's here. They've got a YouTube channel. Go check them out on Xbox. I think he had a pretty good game there. And I hope you appreciate it. If you're here from the Beard Guy's channel and you've survived to this point in the video, welcome. I love getting new people here, and welcome to Klaus's world is probably how I should end this one.